Welcome back to Outnumbered. An associate dean at the University of Virginia now suing Rolling Stone magazine for more than $7.5 million. Nicole Aramo is the lead administrator dealing with sexual assault cases at the school. She says she's hoping to set the record straight after she says the magazine's now debunked article about a gang rape on the school's campus portrayed her and the UVA administration as insensitive to the alleged victim. The story has since been retracted, but not before it sparked widespread outrage over how UVA reportedly handled the case, a case which now, as this is being presented to us, do you believe this school administrator has a case?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is that the Rolling Stone have had some sort of a deal with Columbia University School of Journalism where they asked them to do like an independent evaluation of the story, and they got filleted. I mean, Columbia School of Journalism found that it was deeply flawed. They wrote a very intense review, an investigation of the checking of the sources or the lack thereof. And this is, in my opinion, I hope this is bigger than this story. This is bigger than this case. This is a shout out, a firing of the cannon to all investigative journalists of their responsibility, their ethics and their responsibility, because they hold people's lives in their hands. And I am very passionate about this because I represent clients who, based on 4 sentences in a complaint, they write some big story that they don't verify. They just oh, well, this is what the complaint says, so this is, we're going to write a story that lives on in infinite, forever and ever and ever on the internet and ruins people's lives.
Yeah.
And people need to be held accountable if they're going to be this negligent and this irresponsible.
We're taught as journalists to do no harm in our fact gathering. And what we know about the journalism, in quotes, that happened with this article was that this reporter was negligent. She didn't even try to interview all the people.
Reckless. I would use the word reckless, which is worse than negligent. Negligent means you make a mistake. Reckless means you're intentionally I don't care.
One thing that Sandra said, though, is, to get to the truth, to get to the truth as you were leading this up, to get your facts straight. Too bad the reporter and the editor didn't make that their goal, to get the facts straight.
Yeah. I mean, does it matter if it was a mistake? So from a legal perspective, so Columbia did say when they were interviewing her, they had this moment where they
realized why I said negligent. She
had been duped. She actually had legitimately believed this. Now, she'd gone in with a preordained narrative, and that's why she believed it. But they really did feel that she legitimately believed what she was doing.
So without getting too deep into the legal weeds, there's something called punitive damages, which is you don't just get money back from the harm that was caused to you, but there's also money taken away from the defendant to punish them, punitive damages, because what they did was so horrible. And that usually relies on, was it a mistake? Was it negligence? Can they prove she was duped? Or are they going to be able to prove that she was absolutely reckless or worst case scenario, intentional? She knew about it and she didn't care. She set it aside and ran with the story anyway.
I want to ask you, this reporter, Sabrina Erdely, apologized to everyone except for the fraternity boys whose lives that she ruined. Can they go after her personally, Arthur? I mean, I know that they're suing this magazine, and I would also like to know your thoughts if they could bankrupt this magazine and put it out of business. But could they go after her personally?
They probably cannot bankrupt the magazine, because the problem is their damages. Do you remember the case of the Duke lacrosse players?
Yeah.
Those kids were arrested. They were about to be prosecuted. I mean, their lives, they were thrown out of school, I believe, and then it turned out that it was a total lie. So their damages are very tangible in the Duke lacrosse. Here, the fraternity boys were shielded a lot more. Their identities were shielded a lot more. They weren't thrown out of school. I believe they were only thrown out of the fraternity. So their damages aren't as drastic.
We're probably going to see more lawsuits like this.
We're going to see more, and this, what they should do, the way lawyers see other lawyers getting in trouble, it makes us cross our T's and dot our I's. What they should do is make all journalists see the ramifications of these person's actions and follow in Harris's footsteps and say, do no harm, cross our T's and dot our I's.
All right. Well